Hello guys, welcome back. Today I will be discussing the paper 2 of May June 2021, variant 2. This paper has a separate case study in a separate booklet, so make sure you have that. Alright, we're moving. This is question number 1, and let me read for you the case study. So we only have one case study for this paper and 4 questions. I think each has 2 parts, A and B. Alright, Tandib is planning to set up a toy shop in Countryside. He worked for a toy manufacturer for 10 years. Tandib thinks he has enough knowledge of toys and customers' needs to start his own business. Tandib plans to sell a large range of toys which will include products for all ages of children from babies through to teenagers. The toy will all be well-known brands and aimed at higher income groups. The most popular product is likely to be toy cars. Tandem also plans to sell a range of accessories for babies, such as push chairs or strollers, which may have to be imported. Making sure there is inventory to always meet demand is very important for the success of TT, the brand name. Tandip has a loan of 40,000 from his family to invest in the business. He wants to set up a private limited company. He knows that he will need working capital to run his business. He may offer credit to some customers for more expensive items such as nursery furniture. Tandip knows that there are several legal controls to protect consumers. Tandip has been looking at locations for his toy shop. He has identified 2 locations to choose between as outlined in Appendix 1. Tandip will need to recruit several employees to work in this shop. He plans to recruit a shop manager and 5 sales assistants. Tandip will carry out all the administration as part of the recruitment process. He will need to produce job description, job specification, then shortlist applicants. Okay, so we'll look at Appendix 1 later in the next question, but now let's look at question number 1. Explain 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages of setting a business as private limited company. Make sure you have your textbook for in case, because your textbook has all the answers. You just need to find the main topic, like limited company over here. Like, you don't have to read a whole chapter in order to answer this question. It's super easy to find it. I don't have mine, but make sure you have yours when you answer, or you can have the marking scheme, but I will suggest you having your textbook. Okay, first advantage, they would have limited liability. They will not lose their personal possessions if business were to fail. Okay, and another advantage is separate legal identity. Company can be sued instead of the owners, which is good for the owners. And a disadvantage would include it wouldn't be easy to transfer shares, as must have the approval of other shareholders. One shareholder wouldn't be able to transfer his shares to someone else unless others, like the shareholders involved in this business, approve of this decision. So you can't sell it randomly. Also, speaking of selling the shares to the public is not allowed or possible, as it can only be sold to family and friends. So this will restrict the capital that can be raised from share issue. Okay, you can find this in your textbook, I'm pretty sure. Just, this is the outline, a brief explanation of each one. And this is an 8-mark question. This paper normally consists of 8 to 12-mark questions. Okay, well, this is a long one. Part B, 12-mark question. Okay, so I believe each part has 4 for each point, plus the conclusion. Each one has 4. No, wait, I think not 4. Wait, hold on. Let me check. Maybe the conclusion one has less, so you don't really have to write many points for that one. But it would be good to check. Well, it says here it depends. As long as you have sufficient points for each one. Honestly, for me, I don't really count my points. I just make sure that it makes sense. It's all relevant to each other. You don't get lost in between, because this happens a lot. Like, you have so many thoughts in the exam and you just keep on blurting it. You can do that. It would help if you do it with a pencil first, I would say. But make sure it's relevant and neat in order for the examiner to read your answer. Okay, so this question is: consider the following 3 factors that affect the location of TT's shop. Which of the location in Appendix 1 should tandem choose? Choose your answer. Justify your answer. So this is 3 situations, and we have a conclusion. So these situations will help us choose which location is better. And it doesn't really matter which one you choose, actually, as long as you're able to support your answer. Okay, so let me read the appendix for you. We have appendix 1, the 2 locations. Location A is the shop that located in a popular shopping mall in the city center. Parking is expensive and the rent is high. The mall is open from 8 to 10. There are several other toy shops located in the mall, as well as banks, a cinema, and children's playground. Location B is a shop located on a busy street in a local town. There are many other shops, the street and the market area. Local people frequently visit the shopping area to buy food. Parking is always available and it's free. The rent is low. There are no other shops in the town. So what you can see from this one is that location A, first of all, high rent. B, low rent. Many potential customers, I think, because you're in a mall. Not so much, because as it's mentioned here that it's mentioned here that the customers usually come for food. And then there's the parking and competition and stuff like that. Okay, what we read in the appendix that TT they target high income people or customers. Go back to your first case study, the one before in the case study, and you can see that it's higher income groups of people. So put that in mind, and this basically supports the first location. All right, so customers in the area. Now we have to analyze the customers in each area. We'll start with the location A. At the mall, which is location A, there could be high income customers, which is what TT is targeting. Then the target market uses the mall and higher number of sales of nursery items likely in location A. While location B seems to have lower income customers, so the target market for the toys will be lower. Now that makes sense. Okay, let's see for rent. Obviously, this is very obvious. You don't have to think about this one. High rents in location A will increase fixed costs of the TT products, resulting in lower sales. Higher rents means you will have to increase your costs. Okay, makes sense. So rent in location B is low, giving lower costs. However, there may not be sufficient customers in their area to provide higher revenue to make profit higher in this location. All right, that is it. Okay, we'll go to types of shops nearby. As you can see, in location A, it's a mall, so they're probably gonna have a competition. There could be several toy shops in location A, which creates competition leading to lower sales if TT couldn't really compete with the other competitors. In a busy street with little to no toy shops, therefore no competition in location B. However, though, in location B, people aren't really interested, I would say. As it's mentioned, they come to buy food. So make sure to justify that. I really didn't, but yeah. Oh, okay. The conclusion. The number of shops in the area is the most important. Shoppers in the area. So location A is better. Without the area being busy and attracting, the toy shop will not have many customers. Low rent at location B is less important in this case, due to the fact that in location A, high revenue of toys will be sufficient enough to cover up for the expensive rent. Even though location B has low rent, but they don't have, there's no potential customers. Okay, that's it for question number 1. Let us go to question number 2. A. Okay, this should be pretty easy. Explain one likely advantage and one likely disadvantage for Tandeep if he decides to import the pushchair strollers he sells. Okay, the first thing comes to mind when importing, it's obviously you'll have a huge variety of items or products. This will enable the business to meet the customer's demand at all times. So to basically write this in a more formal way, the advantage is basically having wider range of push chairs in the shop. The explanation is this will meet the needs of more customers as there will be many options, thus leading to higher revenue and more awareness of TT. This advantage is 1 mark. This is 3, and same goes for the disadvantage. Now here I've mentioned more customers are satisfied basically, and another point is higher revenue and awareness of the brand. So I think this could be 3 marks. It could be less, but they might reconsider. So I think it's 3 valid points. Okay, for the disadvantage, you have one popular answer is tariffs are imposed when importing products, alright? So when you are importing a product from a country, this country will either impose tariffs or quotas. It's limiting the amount of products imported, or charging you a cost, like a tax on your products. So basically you'll have to raise the cost of your products when selling them back at your business place. So this will raise cost of TT inventory, leading to rise in products prices and may potentially lower the business income if the customers were not happy about this. Okay, that is it for question number 2A. The last question for this, well, it's not the last, but it's the last for part 1. Refer to appendix 2. Let's check appendix 2 out. And the other information, consider the advantage and disadvantages of TT purchasing toy cars either from a wholesaler or a manufacturer. Which channel of distribution should TT choose? Justify your answer. So you have a wholesaler and a manufacturer. In your table, units cost of toy car per toy car. When you buy it from a wholesaler, you'll spend 15 per toy car, and a manufacturer 5. So it's clear that buying from the wholesaler is more expensive. However, the delivery time is quite short. From the wholesaler, it's just a day, but a manufacturer is 4 weeks. Minimum quantity that must be ordered for wholesaler 10 per unit. However, manufacturer 1,000 per unit. trade credit is 1 month for wholesaler and 3 months for manufacturer. Now this is easy to analyze. Let's first look at wholesaler. Let's analyze the advantages and disadvantages of each. Basically, you have to justify. Buying from wholesalers, first of all, will allow TT to purchase in smaller quantities. Now this will be good as it reduces the need for storage places and extra costs. However, toy cost $15 as wholesaler markup is added to the price of each toy. Also, they may have to charge higher prices than competitors, which lowers overall sales. So this wholly depends on the seller. However, though, now let's go to the manufacturer in country Z. Buying from manufacturers will cost cheaper per car toy as it is $5. However, TT must buy in large quantities, which leads to extra cost due to storage space. Moreover, the delivery time is longer. This is another disadvantage. And also, they may not be able to respond to customer quickly. You have three cons here, and one pro. It's obvious that wholesaler is better overall, but you can choose the manufacturer, but you have to back up your opinion. I think purchasing from wholesalers is better, as it is not required for the business to order 1,000 units, since TT may not be able to sell such large quantity of a toy car. Now we have to focus that they're only buying one product, so they can't buy a lot of it as it might not be successful. So they have to buy a small amount at first, or maybe at each time, which will be good. They don't have to store the extra products, and it will add them costs for renting or buying storage place. Okay, so also wholesalers can give advice on which toy car to consider for more sales, making it more likely that TT shop will be able to meet the demand for their customers, because wholesalers usually sell to many companies and they know which product sells the best, so they will tell you usually. Also, you can write it takes less time. That's another advantage, and you can check your marking scheme for more possible answers, but I chose these and this is the way you arranged them. I hope this helped you. That's it for part 1. If it helps you, please like, share and subscribe. Share to your friends who would also find this helpful, and thank you so much for watching this video.